All right, guys, welcome back. Jesse and Sam here with GM Bow Hunting. We're just going to be going through and telling you guys pretty much what we run early season, mid season, and late season for whitetails.
We're going to get those extreme, like hot 70s, 80s temperatures down to negatives, and we're going to get like that awkward in between stage, and like we're going to kind of explain our reasoning behind that. So
early season, let's see. So most of these pieces are going to be like maybe like staple pieces that you wear like throughout the whole entire season. So I always start off with this. This is a Sitka Core Merino 120 t-shirt. So I always have this on no matter what. And then early season when it's hot, like 60s and above, I'll run the insect shields, the guard pants. I got them in subalpine just for turkeys and everything too. This is the insect guard hoodie. So these are super nice when it's hot out. And then I also mix in the Traverse pant too. Because I like to run solids when I can, you know.
And I actually have the older version. I don't know if they actually do this anymore because they made the Traverse, but these are the Equinox pants. They're very thin. They breathe pretty good, but they also have like I feel like a thicker substance a little bit than the Traverse and those lighter pants. But very good for early season. And then I'll just run like be simple with it. We're just a core.
Maybe?
Yeah, core lightweight for top, nothing else.
So then like I'd say like maybe like 50s to 60s, maybe like even upper 40s. I'll run, these are just the Sitka mountain pants, and I'll wear these. And then if it starts getting a little bit colder, I'll just throw these in. These are just some First Light merino, pretty thin, probably like a 200 weight merino bottom. And then I'll mix in either the Fanatic hoodie, which I really like this thing, or the Ambient hoodie. This thing's awesome too. So depending on whether it's in the 60s or lower 50s, I'll swap in between these two, because this Ambient is pretty close to the Fanatic, but it offers a little bit more warmth.
It's pretty much the same thing for me. I can wear anything from these Equinox pants to where if you're getting into upper 30s, low 40s area, or even like mid 40s, you can put on the Stratus bibs. I like the bibs more. They give you a little bit more coverage all the way up, so it'll give you a little bit more warmth in your chest. So that way you don't have to wear your full-on jacket. Like I don't have to wear my Stratus jacket with this. I can wear something as easy as the Ambient jacket. And if you're upper 40s, I love wearing just the Ambient jacket with maybe, depending on whatever, the Core Merino 120. If it's a little bit chillier, I'll wear the First Light. Yeah, this is the First Light kiln. It's just like a step up from that. So, but if you're getting into like the lower 40s, one of my favorite combinations is this Ambient jacket and the Stratus vest. I really think you can't beat that combination for that temperature, just because it's very universal. You can throw on this Ambient jacket very easily, and say you're hunting the evenings, once those thermals drop, that last 30 minutes of light, or even an hour, whatever, you start to feel that chill. Same thing with the morning too. Once those thermals rise, you'll feel that chill, and you can throw on this vest and you'll feel very comfortable with that temperature.
Sam's a little bit more, I don't know, what you say, hot-blooded maybe?
Yeah.
I get colder than he does, so I like to. I'm normally moving into my thicker stuff before he gets.
Yeah.
He'll be wearing that in the 40s, and I'll be all bundled up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about like your body type too. We're pretty much two opposites. He gets colder a little bit easier, and I'm pretty much warmer all the way through, because I can wear the Stratus all the way down to my like upper 30s and be fine. But for me, I do. Obviously, late season I'm wearing all wool. I'm not wearing the Core Sitka, so I've moved to straight wool. I do the wool 120 or Merino 120. I'll do the 220, and and then I have the First Light furnace, tops and bottoms, and I'll wear that, and then I'll put on my Fanatic bibs and my jacket from 25 to 35, and I'd be good. Where he's a little bit different than that.
Yeah. So like just like that right there, we have a good mix. First Light has really good merinos, so you know a lot of guys are like hardcore one brand, like brand specific and loyal, but you know I think you get the best of both worlds. You know it benefits yourself if you're using like different pieces and putting them together because, like I said, First Light's got really good merino.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, he likes to go heavy on his Baselayers when it starts to get cold, and he'll bring in like a lighter top, like a one shell. He'll go Baselayers and then shell, and then me, I go lighter on my Baselayers, and then I'll just bring in like a big shell. So I like to go in light. Like I'll have most of the time if it's super cold out. Probably my favorite piece out of anything is this 330 merino from Sitka right here. Most of the time, if it's anywhere from the 30s or even in the 20s, I'll just wear this 120 merino with this in, and I'll have these lightweight merino from First Light. I'll throw my Fanatic bibs on. These things are freaking awesome. I got the talls in them, and then that's what I'll wear in. I'll leave them vented out the sides, that way getting the heat out, because these things are pretty hardcore.
That makes it really nice for when you're walking in. The biggest thing I feel like a lot of people learn the hard way is when you're walking in, you do not want to be fully dressed because you will start sweating.
Yeah.
And if you start sweating, you're going to be miserable in the stand.
Yeah.
If it's in the 20s or 30s, you're going to be freezing. Yeah. And you're going to not. And the thing is, if you can't be comfortable in the stand, you're not going to be comfortable to stay out there as long as you need to, especially during the rut. When those bucks, you could be getting those midday cruisers. That's where you can kill some of your biggest bucks at midday. So you want to be comfortable in what you're doing.
Yep. And that's another thing why we use the merinos. Merino, like even if you do sweat and get wet, like I've had a couple times, it dries super fast. So you can go out there, and even if you're sweating like a little bit and your shirt gets damp, you can set for a couple minutes until you start to cool off, and it'll actually wick it away from you, and it'll keep you warm.
Yeah, because we just shot the tack, and he was drenched. Like, that shirt was a different color. And, like, couple minutes, like, I would say 10 minutes max, it was completely dry. Like, it's actually really impressive, the technology behind it.
Yeah. And then, like, depending on how cold it is, I like to throw in some stuff. This is the Airlight vest. I really like this vest because it's, like, you can pack it down. I've got the jacket, too, but I really like to use this vest. It's a little louder, but you can pack it down, and you don't have like the weight underneath your sleeves, and it still keeps your core warm. And then I just got this as the Fanatic vest, so I'll probably try to mix this in somewhere in that maybe upper 30s, mid 30s range, just because sometimes I don't really like having a lot of bulk in my arms, and with vests I'm kind of weird. I like
Oh yeah.
I like it, especially over the Fanatic jacket. Like when it gets cold out, this kangaroo pouch doesn't really stay warm. Like it's away from your body, and I like to wear vests and put my hands like inside my armholes, and it keeps it like close to my chest. So I think this might help keep me warm. Like especially if I have like a Stratus on where it's got wind block through my arms, I keep these in here and keep my hands warm. Because that's one thing for me. I don't have any gloves that keep my hands warm, man. I just got to keep my hands in my pockets.
Yep. I mean, I do the same thing. I don't wear gloves at all. I don't like wearing gloves. It's just a personal preference. But I'd rather keep my hands in my pockets with hand warmers in there rather than wearing any type of glove, no matter the temperature.
Yeah.
So
now,
one of the most underrated things I think are the vests. A lot of people don't think to use them. They'll just use jackets. I mean, Sitka has a really good technology, so they keep their sleeves tight to their arms for archery hunters like us. But vests are definitely a very underrated thing that I think will help a lot.
Yeah, and it's especially nice with those too because you can pack them in, and they're super. They don't take up much space. But like with gloves, I don't like finger gloves, but my hands get cold, so I always wear these. These are the Kafaru Merinos. They're super light, and then if it does end up getting cold, I've got this more. It's just like a generic wool glove with no fingers. And if it gets super cold, I'll put both of them on. And yeah, I don't know why, but I got cold hands, and I get cold feet too.
And then I don't really wear this very much, but this is a neck gaiter. It's a little too thick for my liking. It bunches up a little bit, but if it's super cold, like cold enough to where you can barely withstand it, I will throw this on. And I don't wear this a whole lot, but this pouch is also very nice for when it's super cold out. It definitely helps a lot.
Yeah. And then I think both of us we just have a Matthews beanie.
Yep.
I call this my killing beanie because I've pretty much killed all my deer that I've shot in this thing right here.
Yep.
And I haven't shot a Matthews for the past 2 seasons, but I still wear it because, you know, I'm superstitious, so got to have my killing beanie on.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
and then I'm not really a face mask guy either. Some of these have nice like integrated face masks you can pull up with the hood. I like to wear my hoods, but like with the beard and stuff, I really don't mess with the face mask too much. Like if it's super cold, I will, but
Yeah.
you know.
I'd rather not mess with anything around my face at all because I like to be able. A lot of people don't think that, but like when you're wearing those hoods, just that little bit of muffle, even if it's the guard, like little hoodie that's super thin, like sometimes that can mess with your ears a little bit as far as listening goes.
Right.
So it's all personal preference. Like
Yeah.
for me, I like to keep stuff away from my head, so I'd wear a hat, just keep it right above my ears. If it's super cold, I'll cover, but
Yeah.
I like to keep everything clean up here. As far as that helps you a lot with shot execution too, because it keeps everything away from your face.
Yeah, you can it'll change your impact. Like you'll have left and right impacts too, if you've got like layers here or your hood's on, and even too like if you have a bunch of collars and stuff. If you're shooting a thumb button, you could even have it go off because you hit something. Because majority of the time you don't practice in like all the stuff you shoot in. Because I mean it's just so, you know, most of the time we're practicing when it's summer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that is a good thing, you know, if you do practice, if you do shoot with gloves on, like hunt with gloves or like a face mask or a hood, make sure you practice with your stuff on. That way you're not missing any or making any bad shots.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
because
out
I
in the
mean,
woods.
yeah, like if you're hunting a rural area and you have the property to do it, like for us, when we come in the morning at our cabin, we'll fire off a few shots just with the stuff we have on, just to make sure we're staying up to date with our bows and still knowing all of our gear really good,
Right.
and we know how everything's gonna work when it comes down to the time.
Yep.
So that's just a good thing to do if you're able to. When you're done hunting, so especially a morning hunt, just come in, fire off a couple shots, make sure you're good, comfortable with what you're using.
Yeah. And all in all, like, I mean, we've got so much money and gear here, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's ridiculous, or, you know, I'd never spend that much money on stuff. But a lot of this stuff, man, we built this over probably the past 4 years. You know, you get a couple things, you know, every year, and it's an investment, you know, like
Yeah.
all this stuff's super good quality. I have no need to buy anything. I've got everything, and like for the years coming, you just add a piece or two.
Yep.
It's so nice, it's high quality, and it really makes your experience out there, you know, even better. Like, especially me this year coming up, I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to hunt working, you know, and the times that I do hunt, you know, you enjoy yourself out there because you're comfortable. And, you know, if it's really crappy weather out, I'm not afraid to go out and sit and hunt because I know my gear is going to do its job and I got my systems down. So,
Yep. Definitely. You need to be very comfortable with what you're using, because you need to be able to stay out there and be happy with what you're doing. So
right. And like he said too, it's good to we have a different system, right? So it's good to figure out what you like and what you need and what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
yeah,
So,
definitely. So that's why we try to give you two completely opposite. I mean, very similar, because we have all the same systems pretty much. I mean, not everything's the same, but all of our stuff here is majority Sitka. So it kind of gives you guys two different like varieties of
yeah.
different types of things you can do, because some things work for some people, some things work for other people.
Yeah.
So you need to find out what works best for you.
Yep. Yep, because there's a lot of times like you said, we have the same stuff, but like weathers and stuff, we never have the same clothing on when we go out, like never. So, yep.
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed it. This is all we got for whitetails. Hopefully you guys are getting ready for season, and
let us know what your systems are, what you guys like to rock, what different temperatures. Because I mean, we're out here learning too. We learn every day with doing things that we think we're experienced at. So I want to hear all your guys' ideas too, and we want to learn from you guys. So
yep.
But we'll
Like and subscribe, and catch you on the next one.
Yep. Peace out.